Welcome back to WION World is One. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Heem Kaur Saroya, and here's what we've lined up for you on Speednews today. Donald Trump has unveiled a raft of punishing tariffs ranging from minimum 10% to as high as 49%, targeting countries around the world. The US president said he will impose a 10% universal tariff on all imported foreign goods, in addition to reciprocal tariffs on a few dozen countries. Speaking in the White House's Rose Garden, Trump unveiled these tariffs on what he called Liberation Day, calling the tariffs a declaration of economic independence. The 10% universal tariff will go into effect on the 5th of April, while the reciprocal tariffs will begin on the 9th of April. These tariffs will take effect and will affect some of the closest trading partners of the US. Trump claimed the US has been routed by nations near and far. And he claimed that he was very kind and so was only imposing half the amount of those countries' taxed US exports. The United States imposed a 26% reciprocal tariff on India, thwarting the country's hopes of receiving respite from President Trump's trade policies. The Trump administration claimed the currency manipulation and other non-tariff barriers were the basis for the 26% charge on India. Trump's sweeping tariffs have left global markets reeling, with Indian stocks mirroring that gloom. Trump's declaration about India was a component of a broader strategy to implement a 10% baseline duty on all imports beginning the 5th of April. He also announced greater levies on other countries ranging from 15% to 49%, with India's neighbors facing a much bigger tariff hit. Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs will extend across the world, even to the uninhabited McDonald Islands. The US president has announced a minimum 10% tariff on all its exports. The tariff will also be applicable to the McDonald Islands, which is an Australian territory in sub-Antarctic Indian Ocean. The icy archipelago has 0 residents, other than many seals, penguins and the birds. The Trump administration has also subjected other small islands to new 10% tariffs. These include Australia's Cocos Islands, with the Comoros off, and the coast of Africa. Britain's Falkland Islands, which has a population of 3,200 people and around 1 million penguins, will face very harsh tariffs. Trump has levied 41% on imports from the South Atlantic territory. US President Donald Trump has said that he will stop Russia's war on Ukraine as his administration continues intensified truce efforts. Trump said during the tariff announcement event that the war would have never happened if he was the president. The Kremlin has said that a visit to the US by Vladimir Putin's envoy Kirill Dmitriev is possible and that contacts with the US are continuing. Dmitriev is expected in Washington this week for talks with the Trump administration. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has said that Putin is serious about engaging in peace processes and Moscow will keep working with the Americans despite daily Ukrainian strikes on Russian energy infrastructure. After the US brokered pause on strikes on energy infrastructure, both Russia and Ukraine have been continually accusing each other of violating the moratorium. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that his military is dissecting the Gaza Strip and seizing territory to pressure Hamas into freeing hostages still held in the territory. Netanyahu said the Israeli army is taking control of the Morag Axis, a strip of land between Khan Yunis and Rafah, a former Israeli settlement that was evacuated when Israel unilaterally pulled out of Gaza in 2005. Defense Minister Israel Katz earlier said Israel would bolster its military presence in the Palestinian territory to destroy and clear area of Hamas infrastructure. He said the operation would seize large areas that will be incorporated into Israeli security zones already under military control. The Israeli military released video to show its troops operating in the southern Gaza Strip city of Rafah. The footage included the soldiers operating and firing from inside houses as well as aerial video of strikes. The IDF said its troops have completed the encirclement of the Tal al-Sultan area in Rafah. IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir and Shin Bet head Ronan Bar conducted a field tour and situation assessment in the Tal al-Sultan area. During the visit, Zamir said the only thing that can stop Israel from advancing is the release of its hostages. While Ronan Bar said Hamas will continue to pay the price as long as the 59 hostages are not returned. Now, Syria has condemned deadly Israeli strikes across the country as a flagrant violation of its sovereignty after Israel said it struck military capabilities. Syrian state media said the strikes hit close to a defense research center in Damascus, among other sites, while a war monitor reported 4 dead in the latest Israeli attack on Syria. The Syrian Foreign Ministry called it a violation of international law and Syrian sovereignty. It said 5 strikes across the country resulted in the near-total destruction of a military airport in central Syrian province Hama, injuring dozens of civilians and soldiers. The Syrian ministry said the strikes came as the country was trying to rebuild after 14 years of war. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has landed in Hungary's capital in defiance of the International Criminal Court arrest warrant against him for alleged war crimes in Gaza. This is Netanyahu's first Europe visit since 2023. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban had extended the invitation to Netanyahu a day after the ICC arrest warrant. Orban vowed that the country wouldn't execute the warrant despite being an ICC member, as the court's decision intervenes in an ongoing conflict for political purpose. Netanyahu has been welcomed with military honors in Budapest. The Israeli Prime Minister is expected to hold talks with the Hungarian Prime Minister. Myanmar's ruling military government has announced temporary ceasefire in operations against armed opponents from April 2nd to April 22nd. The ceasefire comes following the deadly earthquake of 7.7 magnitude. According to state-run MRTV, the ceasefire is to facilitate rehabilitation of the country after the disaster. The Myanmar military overthrew the Aung San Suu Kyi government in 2021. However, the people from cities like Mandalay and Sagaing have said that they are yet to receive any help from the military. In the meantime, the UN World Food Programme has started distributing aid to victims of the earthquake, in which over 2,800 people were killed. Chinese military has said that it has completed 2 days of live fire exercises around Taiwan. The exercise included simulated strikes on key ports and energy sites aimed at Taiwan. It's named the Strait Thunder 2025A were conducted in the middle and southern parts of Taiwan Strait as well as East China Sea. The surprise maneuvers are condemned by Taiwan, while the United States called them intimidation. The exercise came less than a month after Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te called China a foreign hostile force. China's Eastern Theater commander said that the Shandong aircraft carrier was also carrying out drills, testing the ability to blockade Taiwan. Beijing's foreign minister said the punishment will not stop until Taiwan's leaders cease pushing for what they call independence from China. The United States has approved the potential sale of 20 F-16 fighter jets to the Philippines. The U.S. Defense Security Cooperation Agency announced proposed sale of F-16s and related equipment, worth an estimated $5.58 billion US. The announcement came less than a week after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth visited the Philippines and said Washington will enhance its military alliance with Manila as it aims to re-establish deterrence to counter China's aggression in the Indo-Pacific region. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reached Thailand to begin his two-day visit to the island nation, his third trip to the country at the invitation of Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra. During his visit, he will attend the 6th BIMSTEC summit on the 4th of April. From there, he will travel to Sri Lanka ahead of his official visit. Prime Minister Modi is also expected to engage with Prime Minister Shinawatra and the Thai leadership. Prime Minister Modi said that he will be attending the 6th summit, BIMSTEC summit, and also called on Ma Vajiralongkorn, the King of Thailand. German Ambassador to India Dr. Philipp Ackermann has pushed for an early conclusion of India-Europe Free Trade Agreement. He said that the time is good to develop the Free Trade Agreement and to negotiate as quickly as possible. Ackermann, while speaking on the sidelines of the climate talk organized by the German Embassy in Delhi, said that the President of the European Union and the Prime Minister of India are sitting together and are committing to negotiate the agreement by the end of 2025. He expressed his confidence on talks and termed the FTA as a game changer for businesses in India. The Indian Air Force has said that a Jaguar fighter jet from Jamnagar base has crashed during a night mission. The incident was caused due to a technical malfunction. The pilots initiated ejection, avoiding harm to the airfield and civilian population. One of the pilots succumbed to injuries while the other is undergoing treatment at the Jamnagar hospital. A court of inquiry has been ordered to probe the cause of the accident. The British-made fighter jet is a two-seater aircraft operational with the Indian Air Force and has the capacity to deploy nukes. The European Union and China have vowed to retaliate against US President Trump's reciprocal tariffs. China faces at least 54% US tariffs in total, including previous levies by Trump. While China and the EU pledged to up the trade war ante, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent urged US trading partners against taking retaliatory steps on the new set of reciprocal tariffs. Bessent urged against retaliation and said that wait and see on talks and come to the table to make a deal. President Trump's 25% tariff on US auto imports have come into effect. These tariffs are expected to increase costs and upend industry supply chains. Certain auto parts will also be hit by an equivalent levy no later than the 3rd of May, potentially adding thousands of dollars to new vehicle prices and weighing on industry sales. For weeks now, auto executives have lobbied Trump's government to limit the impact of the trade war. Recently, Ford, General Motors and Stellantis urged to get specific auto parts exempted from the tariffs. Bitcoin and other major cryptos fell after Trump imposed broader tariffs on US trading partners worldwide, triggering a slump in risk assets. The largest digital asset fell as much as 4% to about $82,000 on Thursday, while smaller tokens including Ether and XRP also declined. Solana had at one point shed more than 9% of its value. Cryptocurrencies took the announcements relatively well at first but began to falter as traders began their day in Asia. The next big move hinges on geopolitical shifts, policy shifts, and whether traders see Bitcoin as a risk or refuge. Days before an April 5th deadline for TikTok to find a buyer or get shut out of its biggest market, the list of potential outcomes for the video app got a lot longer. The White House received an offer from Amazon, which is the latest major player to enter the race, to acquire the American arm from Chinese owners that was once worth $60 billion. Even if Amazon's bid fails to gain traction inside the White House, the company's interest could compel other suitors to pay more, which squeezes more money out of a potential rival. Australia Bureau of Met has said that the country has experienced its hottest summer in 12 months period on record, ending with its hottest March, seeing temperatures 2.41 degrees Celsius above average. The Bureau said that its data going back to 1910 showed the 12-month ending in March 2025 averaged 1.61 degrees Celsius above normal, beating the previous mark of 1.51 degrees Celsius set from January to December 2019. A fresh setback for La Liga leaders Barcelona just days before Spain's sports ministry rules on whether Dani Olmo, Pau Victor can play again this season. La Liga have claimed that Barcelona never had the salary space. In January, they'd announced that they reached an agreement to sell VIP boxes at the Nou Camp Stadium, which is currently under reconstruction. The deal was reportedly worth $108 million, which gave them room for new licenses. Subsequently, Spain's Sports Council provisionally allowed them to register the players. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti appeared at the Spanish High Court in Madrid on the first day of his trial for allegedly failing to declare income to Spain's tax authorities. The trial is expected to be over by the end of the day. Today, prosecutors are seeking a prison sentence of 4 years and 9 months for the 65-year-old. They accuse him of evading over $1 million in taxes by not declaring earnings from image rights between 2014 and 15. Prosecutors claim Ancelotti used a complex network of shell companies to conceal his extra income, but Ancelotti denies any wrongdoing. Oscar-winning actor Jennifer Lawrence and her husband Cookie Maroney have welcomed their second child. The baby arrived on the 2nd of April, making their 3-year-old son, Sai, a big brother. The couple was recently spotted enjoying a stroll in New York City post-birth. Lawrence and Maroney tied the knot in Rhode Island back in October 2019.